Welcome to the Bloomingdale Public Library's program for iMovie Basics. Get started working with Apple's free movie editing tool. Learn to create and manage projects, import files, split and trim clips, and add audio. If you do not have iMovie already installed on your iPad, iPhone, or Mac computer, you can download it from the App Store. You may be prompted for your Apple ID and password at this point when you find it in the App Store. I already have it available here. Since this app is rather large and over 100 megabytes, you may want to connect to Wi-Fi while downloading it. So let's start up iMovie. When you first open iMovie, you'll see a welcome screen detailing some of the features of the app. We'll get to some of those later, so just go ahead and tap continue if you see that. Next you'll see projects. Projects will usually open by default when you open iMovie. Thumbnails representing your projects will occupy this space. You'll be able to tap them to select and continue working on them, but since I haven't created any new projects yet, this area will be empty. So let's go ahead and press Create Project. Now you'll see that you have two options here for a new project. One is Movie, which allows you to combine videos, photos, and music to make your own movie. And then there's Trailer, which you would follow a template to create a Hollywood-style movie trailer. Trailers are a nice feature that let you create short Hollywood-style previews using your footage, but they're used to cut your footage together in a very specific way based on a template. So for now, I would say you could play around with that in the trailer if you want to pause this, but for now we're just going to go into Movie. So now that we have our photos and images imported into this new project that we created called My Movie, we can start looking at the interface here. You see that we have a play button, pause, and this vertical line that's between the image there that's moving along with it, that is the playhead. And then you see that there is also a transition effect in between the two images, and it's represented by this symbol. And with the transitions, you can also make adjustments to the length of time that the transition is, between 0.5 seconds to 2 seconds. You can also change the transition itself, where you can have none, which is represented by a vertical line. It would just kind of straight go into the next image. But if you like the dissolve or the slide or the wipe or the fade, you can utilize those as well. You see, that was very quick. I would prefer that to be maybe a little longer. Let's see what it would look like with 2 seconds. Okay, so that's just to show you that that works in that manner. And if you want to undo something that you did before, you can do so by pressing this arrow at the right next to the sound wave. And what it will do is make the undo and return it back to the last step that you created before that transition effect that you made. So what you can do is undo it a few times and go back to the way it was before that. The next thing I'd like to cover is themes and styles and project filters. So up here in project settings, you see that it's between the addition sign and then the question mark. So yeah, let's go ahead and click on that before we go further. You can see that the question mark gives you more information as to each of the buttons that we have available to you. So if you ever want to go back to that, just use the question mark there, and it's very useful there. So let's go back to the button there, project settings, and what we'll see if we play around with the filters, it will change the way the image and the videos appear. So let's go ahead and press play and see what that looks like. So if I were to remove it or make it black and white, it'll instantly make that change for us. And I think we're just going to keep it at none for now. Right now the theme is simple, so there's nothing special going on, but let's go ahead and change it to travel. Now keep in mind, you can always undo these transitions, the themes, and the style that you're going for can be adjusted along the way. All you have to do is go back up to the button up there where the project settings were and return to either simple, and it also, you can add music. If you were to go ahead and place theme soundtrack, and when we've done that, when we activated it, you see there's another bar down here at the bottom. I'll go ahead and restart it. Now you didn't have to drag it all the way to the end like that. What you could do, let's say if I have it over here, you can press, you see the button next to the playhead? You can do that a few times. But it's more fun to just kind of slide it with your finger. So the music, depending on the kind of project you're doing, could affect the mood of the project that you're working on. So keep that in mind. You don't have to use the music. You can even adjust or change the music yourself. But what if you don't like the music? So something that you could do, well, for one, it got kind of loud, so I'm going to take the volume down a bit more. But one thing you can do is go ahead and go back to the plus sign above, and then it'll bring us here where we see media, and then there's audio. And in audio, you'll see that's how we got there. In audio, soundtracks, there are music available to you that you can utilize if there's something that you would like to listen to or add to the project. And just by selecting it, you can preview what it sounds like. Or you can directly click it and download it. If it's not already downloaded. Now let's go back to my music. Well, there's a few different things, sound effects. But we'll go ahead and just add this one, the one we heard. And we'll press the plus sign, and then there you have it. We'll go ahead and just start. iMovie is actually not only on iPad, but it is available on a few other devices from Apple, including the iPod Touch, the iPhone, and the MacBooks. The versions between the devices are a little different, but for the most part, design and functionality remains. Now, I have images and video already located in my albums, but if you didn't already have those, how would you get them over? Well, luckily for you, there is a camera on all those Apple devices that you can directly shoot and take pictures from, and then they go directly into your iPhoto album and on your storage on your device, so they're easily accessible to you from there. Now, if you were grabbing photos or videos from a digital camera that uses an SD card, you might want to consider getting something like an SD card adapter to a lightning bolt plug, which are available to be purchased. And you can, when you do that, you can directly add the images to your iPad. Another way to do importing images is to actually connect your iPad or iPhone or iPod Touch directly into your computer and download them from there. And then add them onto your iPad. You can also airdrop images into your camera roll as well, which is what I did for these. And you can also use the iCloud functions to just download it directly from your cloud as well. So let's go back into the iMovie, and what you'll see here that we didn't see before is that we do have a new project, iMovie Basics here. Select that, and we can actually from here adjust or edit the title to our liking. I'm just going to change the name to iMovie 2. And you see that you do have a few options on the bottom. There's some buttons for you to preview the project if you just need to see what you have so far. And you can select it. You'll see the timer. We have it set for 1 minute. We have a volume control. There is no sound in this video yet until the videos appear. With a pause button at the bottom, but that's where you can preview it. You also have a trash button where you can delete the item, and then you have a few extra options here in the middle where you can add to a shared album. You can airdrop it, which allows you to send this movie to another device in your ecosystem if you have an airdrop set up with those systems or devices, excuse me. And we press edit if we want to go back to the project and do some edits. Now here we have the media box here where we can import extra media like photos or videos. You can access it by pressing the plus sign here at the top right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to add some photos, and you can have all these different folders within your photo albums. I'm going to select the one here at the bottom called iMovie, and I'm going to import, let's see, can we take a look at this? So if you drag onto the image and hold it down, you can see the image a little closer, a little preview. If you were to actually just tap on the image, you can add it to the project. Now right now, because I'm at the beginning of the project timeline, the image added there. So now that we have the image added to the project timeline, we can make some edits to it by clicking on it. And so if you were to grab the yellow bars at the end or at the beginning, you can actually increase the length of time that the clip is displaying in the movie, or you can extend it for as long as you like. So if you wanted to make some edits to that particular clip, what you could do is to highlight it, and you see that we have the yellow bars at the beginning and the right. You can change the length just by dragging it forward and back. You can extend it up to the end of that video. You can even adjust the speed. If you want it to go a little faster or slower, you can adjust the video. Let's see how that looks when it's speeded up. So it doesn't look too bad. If you want to slow it down, just go ahead and drag that over. Let's go ahead and start it from the beginning. You can also hear that the sound is also adjusted along with the video. And it is slower, and it's maybe too slow. In this case, you can adjust the volume of the clip if you want to make some adjustments directly to it. That doesn't alter the entire project, it just adjusts the video clip sound. Occasionally, you may have a point in your iMovie project where you'll want to split a clip into parts. In order to do this, I need to split my clip. To do so, I'm going to drag in the timeline so the playhead is at a point where I want to make the split. It's probably right about there. And then I tap the clip to select it. Now there are two ways to split a clip. One method is to swipe down the playhead with my finger to split the clip. And that may take a few tries. iMovie seems to be pretty sensitive to making sure you don't accidentally split clips, so you really have to move your finger in an accurate straight line down the playhead. So just keep that in mind, that is one way. But we'll go ahead and undo it, just to try the other way. So another way to split a clip is, again, to make sure the play is where you want the split to occur, and then select the clip. And when the clip is selected like it is now, you get a selection of commands down here at the bottom of the screen. You first make sure your video is selected, and one of the options you have here on the right is split. So you may find it easier to just tap a button instead of swiping down the playhead, but it's entirely up to you. Now, once a clip has been split, there's no way to rejoin it other than using the undo button, but you can only undo the most recent edit with each tap of the undo button. For more in-depth coverage and extra tips, I highly encourage you to visit myvpl.org and use our link to lynda.com, which you can find under Learn, Online Courses, and then there are a few links down here. You see lynda.com. That's the one you want to go ahead and do. From there, you can log in with your library card number and your library card PIN, and you have free access to a program called iMovie for iOS Essential Training, and that is about 2-hour course, but it goes through chapters of each and every individual topic that you can go through, and it also allows you to utilize the CC subtitles and transcripts to help you along your studies. Also, feel free to visit the computer lab if you have any extra questions regarding iMovie or any kind of editing with the video. So thank you for watching, and take care.